Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today let's discuss the KPMG automation testing interview questions along with answers. So this is the round one interview question. The respective skill stack required are Playwright, JavaScript or TypeScript, and any coding language that you are aware of, BDD level knowledge, framework knowledge, and automation testing knowledge. And the candidate has been selected in the interview, and these interview questions are for the years of experience range from 2 to 10 plus years of experience. Okay, let's get started. The first interview question goes like, can you tell me your relevant experience in Playwright automation? How comfortable are you with TypeScript or JavaScript coding language or the scripting language? So you can give this interview ready answer in a simple way and also in an elaborated way. You can start saying, I have around X years of experience in automation testing, and with respect to Y years of specifically in Playwright automation. I have used Playwright extensively for end-to-end UI automation, mainly focusing on building the stable and scalable test frameworks. If you have not worked from scratch, you can also tell something like you have contributed to the framework design decisions, optimized the test execution time, and you have reduced the flaky test cases you have reduced the flaky tests using proper weights and retry mechanisms, and you have mentored team members on Playwright best practices to use in the current project. You can tell something like, in my experience, I have worked on writing test scripts using Playwright's a built-in test runner, handling UI interactions, and then you can tell something like what are the models that you have incorporated or implemented for maintainability, and you can tell something like working with the network interception and API mocking, and then you can tell something like you are trying to run the tests in parallel across multiple browser, and you can add up something like you have integrated your Playwright tests with CI/CD pipeline for continuous execution and for nightly execution or weekly execution or monthly execution, depending on the project need. You can also elaborate your answer with respect to the comfortability in JavaScript or TypeScript. You can tell something like, when it comes to JavaScript or TypeScript, I'm quite comfortable. I'm primarily use I primarily use TypeScript because it provides the type safety and better code maintainability. You can also specify if needed, like you have good understanding of asynchronous waits or awaiting mechanisms and promises, closures and callbacks, handling JSON data and API responses, writing reusable utility functions. Overall, you can end up saying, like, I would say I'm confident in Playwright with TypeScript or JavaScript automation to design and contribute to the automation frameworks that are readily available in the current project and solve real-time testing challenges to my best. This is how you can answer the interviewer effectively and efficiently. Let's jump into the next question. What are the things you usually notice and suggest while doing the code review of your peer or junior? You can tell something like, during code reviews, my focus is not just on the correctness, but on the maintainability, stability, and scalability of the automation code. And you can tell something like, first, I check for readability and structure, whether the code follows the proper naming conventions, and if it's easy to understand and avoids unnecessary complexity. Clean code is very important, especially in automation, where multiple people contribute for easy understanding. Okay, it's simple. In simple words, or you can add something like, the code should be clean. Okay, and then next, what you will do with respect to the code review, you can start elaborating your answers like, next, I look at the framework best practices, like proper use of page object model has been done or not, and if we have avoided the hard coded values, and then if you have properly reused the methods, and we are making sure that there is no duplicate code or the repeated code again and again of the same method. Okay. And then you can also say, I also pay close attention to the synchronization issues. In UI automation, flaky tests are a biggest problem. So I ensure proper use of weights and correct element locators. And you can also tell something like another important area is assertions and validation. Of course, I check whether assertions are meaningful and not just verifying the presence. Negative scenarios are covered where applicable. Okay. And from technical standpoint, I review error handling and logging end to end and proper use of asynchronous or awaiting mechanisms and then test data management. And I also suggest improvements in test coverage and execution efficiency. And finally, I try to keep my feedback constructive and collaborative, not only just pointing out the issues, but explaining why something must be improved and suggesting the better alternatives for the code, so that this helps junior learn as well as others easily understand and improves the overall team quality. So you can also tell by closing this answer something like I treat the code reviews as knowledge sharing opportunity and not just finding the defects in the code or complexity in the code. So this is how you can keep it simple in the interview while explaining to the interviewer. So the third question goes like, can you tell me how will you handle high frames in the playwright? And the fourth question goes like, how will you handle the dynamic elements in playwright automation? And the next one goes like, what are the different types of weights available in playwright? How would you handle alerts in playwright? And then these are the six questions. They ask it for around 20 minutes or 25 minutes, depending on your response. And then finally, they ended up the interview with the below coding questions. You can see, right? They have has the program to print the upper pyramid pattern by using the numbers, and they have asked the expected output as shown in the screen. Okay, and this is with respect to the coding or scripting, with respect to JavaScript or TypeScript. The next one will be like, can you write a simple playwright test scripts to execute the below flow? Let me read out. First, you have to log in with the using credentials, then click on the search bar, handle auto suggestions, and then select the third auto suggestion, validate any element in the new page after selecting the auto suggestion, and then click on sign out. Guys, this is a general script execution flow they asked you to write, not with respect to any link, or you can take anything. So it depends upon you. You can take any web application as an example while demonstrating the code or the script. Okay. Okay. So that's all I had for today. If you have any questions, please do let me know through comments. I will try to solve them, or else please drop me an email. Um, that's all I had for today. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching my video. Happy journey, happy learning, happy testing. Thank you so much.